story night where we're going to read from classic vampire stories. So if you enjoy classic literature, today's story is going to be Varney the Vampire from the 1840s. 50 years before Dracula was written, we have Varney the Vampire. And it, more than most things, probably inspired all what we think we know about vampires. So the kinds of things you associate, like vampires being interested in real estate. Varney the Vampire starts with our vampire trying to buy some property, just like Dracula starts with Dracula buying property. So the similarities are striking. Not to say that Dracula isn't an incredible novel, but you can definitely see the inspiration that was predating it, that went into its creation. We're actually going to begin reading in 25 minutes. So if you're watching this on a recording later, just skip ahead 25 minutes if you want to get straight to the story. But until then, we're going to chit-chat and answer questions. I'm going to adjust the cameras. And don't worry, the wife will be here. It is the privilege of a beautiful lady to keep us all waiting anxiously for her arrival. And she is taking full advantage of that. If you are on my Zuckerberg platform, if you're one of my followers there, let me know if you can hear the audio. That would definitely be very, very helpful if you would let me know if you can hear the audio, because I'm trying this new microphone for you guys. What am I drinking? I'm drinking salt water. It's very good for me. Hi, welcome in, Burned. Welcome in, everybody. Hello, Amy. How's my surgery healing? It's still itchy. It's a big deal. It was a much bigger deal than I expected. It's recovering. I've got all the little hairs growing in where the transplant happened, so I'm hoping to be able to do an update with actual information very soon. Life can be a long thing, yes, but it can be a glorious thing depending on what's going on, life is what you make of it. Well, I have to wear a wig for the movie. I don't know yet exactly how all the movie magic is going to be done, but I do look forward to being a part of a movie. I think I've still got almost 2 months of growth time before that happens, and I think I'll be good by then, so I think we're going to be okay. And keep in mind, every 50,000 taps, the tapping and liking, I will give you a magical illusion. So all of those following me on the Tickety Talk, make sure to tap the screen, and I will reward you with some interesting illusions. I'm excited for it too, Carrie, but it's going to be a while. It will definitely be a while. I was cast to be in a movie. Papilo says, so like magic tricks? Well, I suppose something like that, yes. If you enjoy illusions, I can perform for you, yes. But only if you give me the reward. I like to take things slow, like there it is. A lot of magicians just kind of jump way ahead. Rebel, do you believe that you're a human? Hi, Arizona. With magic, it's simple. Once you learn how things are done, it's easy. That's your freebie, no more. Not unless you give me the taps. Not unless you give me the taps. Taps, 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 taps. Can you hear me if you're on the Zuckerberg platform? I'm looking right at you. Can you hear me? I'm using a new mic, and I'm not sure if it's working yet, so let me know if you can. me type that in. Are you jumping in this early? Wow.
I'm ready.
Wow. Well, I gotta get your microphone on you.
Oh, wait, I gotta go get my phone.
Oh, you're not quite ready then.
Yeah, I just realized it. It's like I came in here and I'm apparently not ready.
Who is my go-to commander in Magic the Gathering? My go-to commander would be Admiral Beckett Brass the Unsinkable is my favorite commander. Someone asks, do I drink blood? Rarely. Needs to be a little bit louder. Thank you. Let me see if I can adjust that volume up. How is that, Cindy? Is that better? New microphone for one of the platforms. The director of the movie reached out to me through social media and really liked the look that I had and thought it would be appropriate for the role that he was casting. So. I think the running is going really well. It's going to get a lot more serious once we finish our petition that we're working on. That's going to be very important. Was I able to help my last coffee guest? I think so. He is an incredible young man, isn't he? He's going to go places. He's going to do so much. Well, thank you, Warrior. Welcome in. That almost sounds like a martial arts thing. I'm been a martial arts instructor for many years, but I've done martial arts for 35 years. Hi. What is life in Fort Smith like? Someone asks. Oh, thank you so much for the stars. So life in Fort Smith is easy. That's one of the words that a lot of people move here and relocate from other areas, and they're surprised how easy it is to live. You don't have to hustle really hard. You don't have to work as hard as you have to work in many other places in the world to make it, because our cost of living is low. Jobs are close by. There are Walmarts and various stores nearby. It's very easy to go pick up something if you need to. The traffic is rarely a problem. But yet it's a big enough city that there are things and stuff around. So a lot of people enjoy life here in Fort Smith that have lived other places. And specifically, one of the things they talk about is just how easy it is to live. How friendly people are and how easygoing everybody is something that people really like about our area. We are on the Oklahoma border, yeah. Westerville, Oklahoma. I've been to Westville, Oklahoma, but I've not been to Westerville. The Oklahoma border is about a mile and a half that direction from where I'm sitting. Fort Smith was the last place before you got to Indian Territory. It was where the court was. So criminals would often run from the east into Indian Territory and try to hide out from the law there. And this was the last U.S. city that would then send the marshals in and try to capture the outlaws, I guess is what they would have called them at the time. What's the community vibe like? Well, there are different. I mean, our city is pretty diverse. We have, large Hispanic population over the last 20 years. We have, definitely a large black population in Fort Smith. So we're diverse in that way. We are pretty open. Most people are welcoming of all different kinds of people. I have friends in town that are trans and things, and Fort Smith tends to welcome them out. Of course, there are going to be your just jerks no matter where you go to live. There are a few of those around, but for the most part, I find most people are pretty accommodating here. It is Westville, Oklahoma. Yeah, I won a martial arts tournament there in 1994. It was a very small tournament. Westville's a small town, but I remember getting a trophy for winning the fighting part of that. Are there many other vampire maxers? I'm not even sure what that means. How far am I from Walnut Ridge? I don't know where Walnut Ridge is, so it's probably more than an hour away. Check which hard drive? You like my big dice? Thank you, Melissa. I feel like we're going to do amazing. And with the support of all the people like you, I don't know how we can't win. What are your thoughts on the water department putting the screws to people with $1,000 water bills? Oh, yes. So, I try to keep my lives as positive as I can, and I try to keep my videos as positive if I can. If you follow me, you'll see that over and over again in my videos. And there are some things it is difficult to talk positively about, and that is an issue, that there's not a lot of positive things to say. Our city has been avoiding the issues of taking care of water problems for years. They've been kicking this can down the road. It's not a fun project. I would equate it to if somebody contacts me and asks me about their finances and says, I can't afford to pay the bills, and we go over their budget, and they're spending over half their money on going to movies. They're like, well, I'm addicted to going to movies, so I go to a movie every single night. And I look at your budget, and you're spending, $3,000 a month on going to the movies, and you have a $3,000 hole in your budget that if you had that $3,000, you'd be fine. Our city spends on things they don't need and has avoided spending on the water because we have so much water, so much rain. It feels like something that we shouldn't have a need for. But the pipes and the meters and everything have gotten out of date. And as a result, we have lots of meter failures. And it's 50,000 when I will do a magic trick, not 20,000, Calvin. Don't try to sell me short. So as a result, now the water department is short on funds. They have too many leaks. They have too many problems. They can't fix it fast enough. And it's going to involve a rate hike. They already know the rate hike is coming, and there's nothing that they can do to prevent the rate hike from happening. But the meters that they've installed are now making mistakes and charging people $1,000 a month water bills all over town. They say as many as 1 in 4 of the new meters are errored, and they don't want to forgive that money because the water department is in the hole so bad. And it's not fun to spend money on things like infrastructure, but that's what we need. That's what our city should focus on. Who goes to the movies anymore? I enjoy going to the movies. I'm just using it. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be going out drinking. If you go out drinking every night, and or 3 or 4 nights a week, and you spend $50 a night, and all that adds up. It doesn't matter. Just pick a fun thing that you enjoy doing. Magic the Gathering cards. I love to play Magic the Gathering. If you spend too much money on it, that's what our city is doing. Yes, 1 in 4 meters fail that they're installing right now, and people are getting exorbitant bills. And this affected my family. My son had a $900 water bill 2 years ago. Whether it was from a meter failure or not, he was, he was 19 at the time, 20, something like that. And he just assumed that his water usage had gotten higher and paid a $900 water bill. He worked out a payment arrangement and paid it like $300 a month. And I was like, what? You don't have a $900, he lives by himself. And he's like, well, it seemed a little high, but I didn't know. He didn't know the difference. And it's not that he had lots of money. He barely had enough money to pay his insurance. He got really behind as a result of that. It hurts people. I'm glad you're joining us, Jasmine. Welcome in. We're going to begin reading in 13 minutes. 13 minutes. My rental property's going well. I don't think it's intentional anomalies for profit. I really don't think that's the case. Because for them to intentionally misdo the meters in order to take money from citizens, that would involve a level of competence that our city is not capable of. You're giving them way too much credit. Generally speaking, if you can choose conspiracy to explain something or incompetence to explain something, try the incompetence first. You're probably a lot closer to the truth. It's very rarely going to be a conspiracy. Welcome in, dear. Now let me get you mic'd up.
The conspiracy of ...
The water meters charging people $1,000 a month water bills all over town.
Didn't
yes.
they admit in one of the meetings, you probably mentioned this a moment ago, admit in one of the recent meetings that they bought water meters that had a 25% chance of failure?
Yeah,
Now
well,
they're finding out?
they didn't know that they had the 25.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put this. I feel like right there makes the most sense.
okay. That they bought a little bit inexpensively, hoping for quality, and they did not get quality.
How can we help out to boost me for mayor? So we're needing to start to raise funds. I have the website you can find from my bio pages on any of my social media, whichever one you're on, or you can look it up, Vampire Mayor, and then it would be after that a dot, and then after that there'd be a com, and I broke that up because I'm not supposed to say links out loud on social media, so that's how that was worked out. Is there no sound?
Oh, that was here.
That's that.
I'll turn this one all the way down.
Let me know if you can hear me on the Zuckerberg thing. I'm trying out a new mic, and some of you could hear me earlier, so I'm hoping we're still good.
Yeah, I bought that mic.
Yeah, I know. There is sound. Okay, ticky-tock is good. I bet that noise was very fun for our people on the tube. If you'll pull up that one so we can ask.
Which one?
This one. The one I'm pointing at.
Okay.
There you go. You talk to everybody for a second.
La 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 la.
I don't think we're getting sound.
Do 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 do.
Talk to everybody for a second. Okay.
Oh,
Ah, there we go. I think we may have made it better. We shall see. Sorry, we are on more than one platform, so I know that you on the TikTok can hear us, but I'm trying to work it out for one of our other ones with the we have different microphones for different ones. I probably need to work up a better streaming system.
Yeah, we have one microphone, two microphone, and then these microphones. Yep. I do feel like there has to be some kind of better way to do this.
Yes, well, we don't have a lot of time to really focus on this aspect. I know it feels like we're live a lot or we're making videos a lot, but most of it's just me stopping what I'm doing, washing the drywall off of me that I was working on all day today, really quickly showering, and then jumping in here and setting things up as quick as I can, which setting up all the different streams. I need to take some time and really plan everything out. I just don't have that available time currently.
We're always doing something.
You're right, I didn't give her phone back because I'll be the one using it. Here in a few minutes when she is reading, I'll be commenting to you through her phone.
I'll have my nose in the book. So we had pork ribs for dinner that I bought at the tin box. They were $2 a pound.
Not hearing anything now. Okay, I'm just going to remove this microphone.
It might have a short or something in it.
I don't
know. I got it at the bin store, so I got it for $10.
Yeah, it was a cheap find.
So, I mean, that might be why it was at the bin store. Sometimes things get returned because they're not any good. And the people that resell them don't necessarily know that a certain object isn't good. And how do you test the microphone in the middle of the store? But we tried. I think buying
if I
from a
can
bin
adjust
store,
this.
if you find things that you like and are going to use, is a great option most of the time because it's inexpensive and you're keeping things from being in the landfill.
Trying to figure this out. Can you guys hear me now? Oh, wait, there.
I think I'm a
can't
clone
change
now.
it. Okay. I think I have to end it and start it again.
There seems to be another one of me running around.
Let's try it again.
We'll get all this technology figured out eventually. He is much better with the technology than I am. He had technology through high school. I kind of didn't get technology till after high school, really. Kind of started to dabble in it towards the end of high school, you know, the dial-up internet. For those of us who are old enough to remember the phone sound and the connection. And I lived out in the country, and so it was a very bad connection even then for a while. I remember waiting on things to load. 30 minutes later, oh, I think it finally loaded. We are going to read vampire books. So we're reading old vampire books. And I'm not sure what he's doing.
I'm putting in the description. I have to restart everything, so give me just a minute on
You have to do the whole description again. So
give me
sorry.
just a minute. I'm going to keep at it.
Yes, you got that. The dial-up internet sound. Thank you. Thank you so much. The screeching sound of hope. What time is it here? It is 6:54 p.m. Don't ask me to do it in military time. I think that would be 1800 hours. 1854?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to what we're talking about.
In military hours.
Military, it would be, what, 6, so that'd be 4, so it'd be 1,600 hours, almost 1,700 hours, right?
No.
Oh, wait, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's offset by 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wasn't in the military. It's definitely not my thing. Definitely not my thing.
I want to say I think it's like 1,800 hours.
All right. Welcome in, those of you joining us. We're
You
going to
add
be reading
2.
vampire stories starting in 5 minutes. We're going to read the classic
it's
story.
It's almost 1,900.
Varney the Vampire.
See, I knew it. 18.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Looks like Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I can kick better than he could.
Just adding 12 to whatever time it is.
Oh, I guess that's how it would work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm silly.
Would you hand me my book, please?
You're such a sweetheart. You said please.
Mm-hmm.
You're so sweet. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go.
You need to be very careful holding stuff up to your chest.
Oh, because I'll bump the microphone.
You will bump the microphone.
Yes.
We got to get smart with this technology stuff. For those of you who are dealing with our chesticle microphones.
I think we have our audio problem fixed now, so I think everybody can hear us better over here.
Marvelous. The magnet's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
You made it worse. You had to play with it.
I did.
You just can't help yourself.
I'm sorry, guys.
You have to touch it and play with it.
There.
What is the biggest attraction in my area besides my B&Bs, of course? Well, my B&Bs are obviously the reason to come to Fort Smith. However, let's see.
Apparently, at some point, we're getting the tallest slide in Arkansas.
The tallest water slide in Arkansas, but that's not here yet.
It's not built yet.
Yeah, but apparently that's what we're. Anyway.
We have the U.S. Marshals Museum. If you are into the history of the U.S. Marshals.
Forget the U.S. Marshals Museum. Although it's huge and awesome, blah blah blah. In reality, go to Miss Laura's.
We have one of only, I want to say 9.
Careful with your wording. Adults, female of the evening, social club, places where men bought the oldest profession. Yes.
The flowers of the evening.
We have a museum dedicated to them. We have the Fort Smith Museum of History, which is awesome.
We have the gallows.
We have the world's largest Christmas pickle.
Oh, we do?
Yes.
World's largest Christmas pickle.
We have
Midnight Ballerina. The Oklahoma Ballet is nearby.
yeah. Let's see. Our downtown area of Garrison tends to have some musical performances and things. We have a huge motorcycle rally in May that'll have 80,000 motorcycles
Oh, yes.
in our
If
city.
you're into motorcycling, that is the motorcycle rally of rallies.
Around our region, we're covered by a huge river, but so there's hiking down by our river, miles and miles of hiking trails. But when you
Diamond
go
hunting is a few hours away.
it's about 2.5, 3 hours to get diamonds. But if you go 30 minutes outside of Fort Smith, you can be in the mountains and hiking like the Lee Creek Reservoir, or you could head to Lake Fort Smith or Devil's Den State Park. There's lots of different state parks within 45 minutes to an hour away that are pretty cool. There's a brewery. There's some really nice restaurants. There's some good dining. She is very smart and very wise.
Why, thank you.
I just remembered I need to make sure I give something to Ransom, or
Oh.
else he's going to have to come up here. Hang on.
Whoops. So our story started with a vampire wanting to make a real estate deal, and the people did not want to sell him their house.
Ransom!
All the distractions going on. But as time went on and hijinks have ensued, Varney the Vampire seems to be focusing a little bit more on love.
Hey, bud. I'm mic'd up, but here's some money.
Doesn't everybody want a little bit of love?
I don't know if he is or not, but I'm going to be... Yeah. Well, I'm going to be
So
up
in
there.
our last segment that we read, Varney had been so devastated after a few times of trying to find his sweetheart that he decided that he was going to starve himself. And so he didn't eat and became more and more melancholy.
He was the first emo vampire in history.
Yes, and he gets so melancholy that to everyone else, he looks like he is in his final repose. And they bury him. They bury him in the catacombs of a church, and some gentlemen try to rob the casket because they were witnessed to the burial and saw that he had many fine things buried with him. All of his wealth he had on his person. And they exhumed him, only to find, as he opened his eyes and looked right at them and then sat up, that they were very frightened of something they didn't expect, and they ran away. The silly things. But they told us another word for that. Instead of grave robbers, they told us the lovely term of resurrection men.
Doesn't
I thought that was
sound
cool.
fun? Resurrection men.
Hello, hello. So where did we go to get them? I missed what them is.
I think she's asking about my fangs, which is like Fight Club. We don't talk about that.
So here we are.
Thank you.
Another segment of our story to entice your ears.
So remember, while she's reading, I'll be replying to comments through her social media on the various platforms. Look for the bats and you will know that it is me, and make sure to follow her.
It was one of those pleasant moonlit evenings that are frequently felt as well as seen towards the end of August, that a party of individuals sat in a traveling carriage and were proceeding at an easy pace on one of those crossroads that runs from Winchester to Bath, and also from Southampton, the Isle of Wight, between Salisbury, more properly speaking, and Bath. The evening was lovely, the day had been sultry, and the sun had not been gone down so long, but that the heat of his rays yet remained. Indeed, though, the moon gave light, yet the radiated heat from the earth, first received from the sun, was so great that the light evening breeze barely tempered the air. The party, thus proceeding, had been spending a few weeks in rambling about Southampton, Portsmouth, and Salisbury, and were now winding their way to the city of Bath. They consisted of but 4 individuals: Captain Fraser, his wife, her sister and younger brother. The latter did not count more than 12 years, while the sister, Miss Stevens, was just 17 years of age. Captain Fraser had scarce been married 6 months, and was upon one of the early matrimonial jaunts which often take place in the earlier part of the married life, when all is sunshine, and the matrimonial barometer might always have the index nailed to "set fair" at such periods. The lady's sister and brother were residing with her, for their parents were passed away, and hence they, the captain and his lady, were their natural protectors. They were riding in an open carriage, the head parted and thrown back, and even in this manner they felt the evening air was scarcely, through riding, cool. "I don't think," said Mrs. Fraser to her husband.
A great quality in a woman. Come on, that was funny. You're giving me a look like it wasn't funny. It was funny.
Okay. "I don't think," said Mrs. Fraser to her husband, "that ever I beheld so beautiful a scene. The time, the warmth of the air, the occasional delicious feel of the light evening breeze, the serene light of the moon." Oh, that was a new noise.
Which one made that noise?
This one made that noise. We got a
it's
star.
stars. Thank you for the stars.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the stars. I didn't expect the noise. "I've never beheld such a beautiful scene. The time, the warmth of the air, the occasional delicious feel of the light evening breeze. Oh, the serene light of the moon. Altogether, I never felt so comfortable, or, I may add, so happy as I do at this very moment."
"I'm glad to hear you say so,"
said the captain.
"It gives me an additional pleasure to find that I can please you."
"What is too bad, my dear?" "Oh, sorry. Now, Fraser, that is too bad of you,"
"What is too bad, my dear?"
said the captain inquiringly. "Why, to say that you are glad that you can please. That is as bad as to say that it is a very difficult matter, and you know that I am very easily pleased, especially when you make the attempt," said Mrs. Fraser.
"Well, we will not quarrel about that, my dear. But I must say, with you, this hour, time, and place are all one could desire, and such as we seldom meet. The scene across the country is truly beautiful."
"Yes," said Miss Stevens, "it is beautiful, as far as we can see." "What river is yonder?" inquired the brother.
That is the Willie."
I thought somebody named Willie was speaking for a moment, and I wanted to speak with a younger voice.
"That is the Willie, same as we saw in Salisbury,"
said Captain Fraser. "Indeed, I thought that it came from another direction, more northerly."
"That was another arm of the same river, and joined this about there, and all the low grounds on the side of yon hills are called the Valley of the Willie. And a beautiful little vale it is, too, fruitful and picturesque."
"How beautiful the moonbeams glisten on yonder water."
"They do, but not so strongly as they did."
"No? Well, what is the reason of that? The air appears to darken. I have noticed it for some minutes past. Why is that?"
"I suppose it is caused by the evaporation from the ground and heavy dews to compensate for the want of rain that usually takes place at this time of year."
"Oh, then we shall be obliged to shut up the carriage, for the dew is more likely to cause cold than anything else."
"It is so, but we are upon comparatively high ground here, and moreover they will not reach us yet, But here are shawls. You can wrap up if you feel chilly, or you can put on your veils.
Oh, but it is yet so warm, said Miss Stevens, that I should be reluctant to put on any more clothing yet a while.
Do as you please, but do not take cold, said Captain Fraser. How indistinct the scene has become around. The river, which we have now saw so plain, is quite obscured, and you can scarcely tell where it is, save here and there, where the dotted willows appear, and which mark out the course of the stream.
It is so, said the youth. I can just see the green tops of the trees appear above the thick mist that rise from the river below.
Exactly. That is a fact.
And see how it spreads itself over the cornfields and meadows? Oh, was that not a flash of light? Said Mrs. Fraser suddenly.
Light? I saw no light,
said the captain. Nor I, said the youth. Did you, sister? No, I did not do so, but it is very sultry, and therefore it is very likely just at this time of year. How much farther have we to travel before we stop for the night?
I suppose 7 or 8 miles, not more.
There is no mistake, however, said Mrs. Fraser, as a flash of light shot across the heavens and left not a trace behind it.
No, there was no mistake about it, nor did I think so before, said Captain Fraser, only I have not noticed it. But it is harmless. It is what is called a summer lightning, and has none of that ordinary results of lightning.
Well, it might possibly make the air cool, suggested Mrs. Fraser. And in that case we shall have a more agreeable temperature. To tell the truth, the extreme warmth and dryness of the air gives a strange uneasiness to the body. Yes?
They got to 50,000 and they want to see magic.
Oh, how delightful.
I promised them magic when they tapped the screen and made 50,000 likes, so I feel like I owe them a magic trick.
Well, then I suppose you should give them a magic trick.
Yes, what kind of magic trick should we give them, dear? Lady's choice.
Oh, one that makes you happy.
Oh, very good choice. Since we did the video with Penelope in it, why don't I do my magic cat toy?
The magic cat toy.
Yeah, everybody saw my video today with Penelope, right? If not, you should go see Penelope.
Penelope was cute.
Okay. So here we go. This is, I really want you to figure out how this trick works. It makes it more fun if you do. So everyone really focus in as I do this and pay attention. So green and yellow are connected. Okay, see this? If you look, you can see there's a hole up here at the top. The string goes through. You can see from this side, green and yellow are connected, right? Very simple. Now the yellow and the purple are also connected. Okay, so yellow and purple.
Uno momento.
Okay.
If you are on that particular platform that starts with an F, you have to make sure to look for Shane is Great.
Yes.
The Shane McKinney account on that particular platform is not his account.
Yes.
It is the imposter.
The imposter will pretend like they're me, but they can't go live like I can. So yellow and green are connected. Purple and yellow are connected. Okay. We good? No more interruptions? Okay. Red and green are connected. Just like this. See? Red and green. Okay, so I want you to picture how this works. Figure it out. Purple, yellow. Now, purple is also connected to green. Okay. So the green and the purple are connected. See? Okay, yellow and green are still connected, but the green and the purple are connected, and the purple and the yellow are also still connected. Now the red and the yellow are connected, and the red and the green are still connected. The red and the yellow are connected. Also, the red and the purple are connected, which is of course still connected to the yellow. But I think what's most important, because some of you may have figured this out, but for those of you that haven't yet, I'm gonna show you here. What's really neat about this whole thing is if we get up close and take a look, you can see that none of them are connected at all. Now, that was for your 50,000 taps. I will do another illusion when we get to 100,000, so thank you very much. Oopsie.
Another flash.
Ah, that's a change in its character.
Yes, that is the blue forked lightning, and I am much mistaken if we do not have a sudden change. Hark! At that moment, a sullen and deep rumbling was heard in the heavens, followed by another flash, and then such a peal of thunder that boomed and rattled through the air in a manner that startled the dull echoes of the night, and made the welkin resound with the fearful sound that filled the heavens.
We shall have a full rain in another moment, said Captain Fraser. Push on, Drive. Drive on, and let us get out of this as soon as we can.
Aye, aye, sir, said the driver, and crack went his whip, and the horses increased their speed, and they rattled on at a good pace. Had we better not stop and have the hood closed?
No, said the captain. I can manage that very well with the assistance of your brother, and we shall not lose time.
Captain Fraser and the young gentleman alluded to brought the coach top up and secured it, just as a heavy shower descended in such torrents that they could scarcely hear themselves speak. So heavily did it rattle upon the leathern covering of the vehicle, and they sat for some time in silence. Soon, however, the thunder and lightning filled the air with sounds and flashes in a manner that began to create a feeling of alarm in the minds of the ladies, and some uneasiness in the mind of the captain, not upon their account only, but because the cattle might take flight under the circumstances, especially as they were fresh, and had now scarcely run 3 or 4 miles, for their stage was a long one, before they reached their destination, which was now about 2 days' easy journey. The thunder and lightning appeared to become more and more terrible. The storm, indeed, appeared to increase rather than diminish in intensity. The very center of the storm appeared to be fast approaching, and making the spot upon which they stood the pivot on which it turned. Its fury increased, and with it the horses were each moment becoming more and more unmanageable. Though, in some measure aware of the fact, Captain Fraser kept his pace, fearful lest he should alarm his wife and at the same time distract the coachman. Suddenly, there was a bright and vivid flash of light, such as they had not seen before, but which illuminated the whole place around them, and made everything as visible as if placed in the strongest light imaginable, followed by such a crashing peal of thunder that the living earth appeared to rock again. It wanted but this to make the horses perfectly ungovernable, and they dashed away at a furious speed along the road. "Good heavens! The horses have taken flight," said Mrs. Fraser as she became aware of the speed at which they were going.
They had merely taken fright, my dear, said the captain, unwilling to increase their alarm by informing them of his own. He will keep them in the middle of the road, and we shall be at our journey's end the sooner, and the more the better.
They were on the point of being satisfied when the jolts of the carriage added to its eccentric course from one side of the road to the other, attracted so much of their attention that Miss Stevens said, "See, Captain, how the carriage sways from side to side. We shall all be over in another minute or two, and we shall all be unalived." "There goes the thunder again, worse than your kettle drums," said the young Stevens, who appeared to think it rather a joke. "The lightning flashes, too, as if we had got into an electrical machine."
Do not talk that way, Charles. For goodness sakes.
"We shall be all unalived presently," said his sister.
I hope not, said Captain Fraser, though I admit it looks serious, but all you can do, and the best under all the circumstances, is to remain calm and quiet and see what happens.
"See what happens? Oh, dear me, Captain. What do you think we are all made of that we should sit calm?" said Miss Stevens, "and see what will happen when there may be broken limbs, at least, if not being unalived."
It is the best I can give you.
"Had we better not get out? I don't mind trying."
If you wish to run intermittent risk of instant and violent unalivings, you will make the attempt. If you remain in here, shut up, you have every probability of that. If we do have an upset, which is not yet certain, we may all escape with but a little fright, or at most a few bruises.
Oh, yes, sister. You'd better wait for the worst, if the worst must happen, rather than rush into it. This, of course, was sensible advice, and which the whole party fell into a deep silence, which was unbroken save by the sounds of wheels, the rattling of the carriage, the rain, and the roar of thunder, enough to employ their minds, and at the same time to keep them in momentary dread of the fearful catastrophe. Suddenly, there was a crash and a dreadful jolt, and they knew not what had happened except that they felt that the vehicle was turned over. In a moment more, the door was opened and a stranger lent assistance in getting out of the unfortunate travelers.
"Do not be alarmed, ladies,"
said a strange but courteous voice.
"No further mischief can happen now beyond inconvenience."
As the stranger spoke, he lifted the two ladies out of the carriage and placed them in a sheltered position by the body.
"Are you hurt?"
inquired the stranger as he assisted Captain Fraser and young Stevens out of the fallen carriage.
No, sir, I am not. I thank you for your timely aid. Now, where are the ladies?
They are, I hope, uninjured."
There.
Oh. Oh, sorry. He sometimes stutters with the repeated words. I mix that up.
Captain Fraser immediately ran up to them, and seeing them in safety, said,
I am glad to see that you are safe. I was stunned at first by a blow on the side of my head.
Yes, we are safe, but we have to thank this gentleman that we have been so speedily and so easily extricated from the unpleasant prison.
I am much indebted to you, sir, for your aid to the ladies. May I trespass upon your kindness to lend me a little further assistance?
I shall be happy to assist you under these unpleasant circumstances.
Stop. They get to see the picture.
Oh, okay.
We have our traveling coach and the gentleman riding the horses. The driver.
Okay, let me say that one
For this
again.
very ancient Uber.
Basically, I shall be happy to assist you under these unpleasant circumstances, but allow me to suggest as the first thing that the cushions be placed under the hedge for the use of the ladies, and what cloaks or coats you have should be thrown over them.
Right, sir, I thank you.
If you are deficient in them, my cloak is at service, though I'm afraid that it is almost saturated.
I have enough here,
said Captain Fraser as he pulled out several articles of that nature, and then he, with the assistance of the stranger, placed them so that Miss Fraser and sister were almost, if not entirely, sheltered from the storm.
Now, the first thing that can be done will be to right the carriage and place it in a position where it will receive no further damage.
But the driver and the horses,
said Captain Fraser.
I must look after them. Had we better not look after them? He may be unaliving.
By no means. He will do very well if we place the carriage upright. We shall be able to replace the ladies.
We can,
said the captain, who appeared to be divided between the duties of humanity and the tender anxiety that he felt for his wife.
Exactly. And permit me to suggest that he has either gone on beyond our aid or does not require it.
It is possible.
And very probable. But if you prefer it and think the ladies will not suffer, we can walk on ahead till we come up with them, if they stop before the end of the stage.
No, sir, you are quite right. I will get the carriage up, if you can go so far as assist me. We shall then place the ladies in comparative safety.
We shall.
They immediately walked around the carriage and examined its position as well as they were able, when, to the captain's great relief, he found that it was still on its wheels, though the body was thrown over on its side.
How can this have happened?
I cannot well see, but you will perceive something must have cut off of one side of the wheel and turned the whole of the forecarriage that way, which has left the corner of the body without support, added to which the speed or the momentum it must have acquired in its course has thrown it over.
Precisely. I see now how that is. But if we get the body up, it will fall again over on this side, since it has no support.
Oh, yes, it will remain up, since it has lost all force and all moving power, unless indeed any of the straps are broken. We can try.
Here, Charles, said Captain Fraser, we shall want your aid.
Oh, the slightest assistance is valuable, if it is the last strain or effort that may complete the removal. Now, if we can lift up from this side, we shall soon ride it, and then the fore-carriage can be forced round, and the ladies replaced until we can better dispose of them.
The stranger placed his shoulder to the carriage, as well as the captain and his brother-in-law, young Stevens, and thus aided, he soon lifted it up into its old position, and there it remained very quietly.
Now we had better pull the wheels round.
This was done, and the carriage assumed its former state.
Well, how could they have got away?
Inquired Captain Fraser, examining the axles and the bars.
All appears right.
They have broken the splinter bar, and here are the remains of the traces. The splinter bar, I find, has only lost its hooks, so it will do again. Come, sir, you have less damage to regret than I first thought. It is possible you could have escaped, and I'm truly glad it is so.
Thank you, sir. Your kindness and assistance has been truly great and efficient, but I have yet to find the poor fellow who drove us.
We will seek after him, or I had better ride to the next town or house where I can obtain assistance, while you will be better able to protect the ladies by remaining with them, and my horse will carry me quickly enough.
Oh, you are mounted.
I am, but the ladies wait.
Thus admonished, the captain turned to the ladies, and with the stranger's assistance, he conducted them back to the carriage, where they were replaced without any material damage or misfortune of any kind, save what might arise from fright.
Someone is coming this way. If I mistake not, they are your runaways by the sounds.
They listened, and distinctly heard the sound of the horses' feet coming along, with jingling of the harness. That made it pretty certain that what the stranger said was correct, and that it was most probable that this was indeed the man who drove them coming back with the same cattle or some fresh. I don't know why they call them cattle. Because it's horses. And twice now it's called them cattle. Strange. You have a phone call.
It's okay.
All right.
We are doing our story time right now.
A few moments more decided the speculation, and the man himself rode up and looked at the carriage, saying,
Well, I thought it was upset.
So it was.
But we have righted it now. Has no accident happened to you? But these are the same horses? Yes, sir. When they got loose or broke away, they went as if they were pewed out of a gun. Pewed out of a pew-pew, and away they went for some miles until I contrived to stop them, which was quite a hard job. However, I thought then, as there was nothing the matter with them or with me, that I'd better return and see what was become of you, sir, and the ladies. Quite right. Do you think that they will quietly harness again? Oh, yes, sir, yes, sir. Then we will harness them, and go on the end of the next stage, when we can see exactly what mischief, if any, has been done.
This was immediately put into practice, and they were soon harnessed. The broken straps and traces began being mended in the best way time and circumstance admitted, but effectually enough for the present purpose.
Now, sir, said Captain Fraser, do you continue this road, or the one that we have come? I suppose that we must have overtaken you as you are coming this way.
No, I was a traveler going in the same direction. I saw your speed from a distance, and believing your horses to have taken fright, I rode on, and being well mounted, I overtook you just as the accident happened.
Then may we have the pleasure of your company on the road for some distance to come, I hope, sir.
As far as the next place to stop at, in all events, for I do not desire to travel further than I can avoid tonight.
Then I shall be able to thank you more at leisure, and at a better opportunity than at present.
Do not name it. I am happy to have had it in my power to render for you assistance. Shall I ride on and secure you proper accommodation when you do arrive there?
Your kindness is very great. I am much beholden to you, but if we can get as far as we hoped to do, we shall not require it. there may be sufficient for travelers under the ordinary course of events. We shall do very well, and if we should not be able to get so far, we must make ourselves content with whatever chance accommodations that we get on the road.
Then we will journey for that distance in company,
said the stranger as he mounted his horse, which had stood quietly by, while the tall stranger rendered the timely assistance that he had to them. They proceeded along now at a cautious pace. The weather had abated, and the rain was now less severe. The thunder only heard in the distance, while the lightning could only be seen in occasional flashes in the distance, in a direction away from them. The clouds began to lighten, and then the diffused light on the moon came and shed a gentle light upon the scene, though it was very scarce and of comparative little use, save it enabled them to see their way all the better. The roads were good, and they traveled onwards with some increase of speed, and finding none of their amended horse tackle had given way, they kept journeying onward at the same pace. Time brought them to their destination, and when they arrived at the inn at which they were to stop for the night, they found it had not made much more than an hour or an hour and a half's difference. When they were fairly housed, the stranger took an apartment to himself. It was while he sat before the fire that Captain Fraser entered his room.
I must apologize for my intrusion.
Do not say a word on that head, sir. It is not intrusion. You are welcome. But be seated, if you please. I am alone and perfectly at leisure.
I have come to thank you for the service that you have done us, and to beg that you will sup with us, and permit the ladies to have an opportunity of thanking their preserver in person. You will oblige us all by accepting the invitation.
I am much obliged for your courteous offer. I will come after supper, if you please, and shall feel it great honor, I assure you. But I am so truly sensible that my efforts were more owing to the accident than to anything else, that I do not wish to hear anything more of it.
You must not be so self-denying, sir. We do not wish to put any more merit on your act than we think it deserves, but that much you must accept, if you will permit me to use such a word. Shall we have the pleasure of your company?
After supper.
I will not press you against your feelings, but you will come in after supper, sir. I hope I may have the pleasure of your drinking a bottle with you. Will you come?
I will, sir, and thank you for the honor.
May I have the pleasure of being able to introduce you to the ladies by name?
Certainly, certainly. I beg your pardon. I am somewhat forgetful. I forget I had not passed through in an introduction. Permit me to give you my card.
As he spoke, he handed the Captain Fraser a beautifully embossed card upon which was printed, in Italian characters, Sir Francis Varney.
It had an emboss. His card is better than mine, dear. Okay, sorry. The fact that it had an emboss in 1840s, that's fancy.
Well, that used to be the popular way to introduce yourself.
Yes,
you would have
yes.
essentially a business card that you
Right.
would give to people with your name, even if you weren't in a profession.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Fraser took the card, read the name, and then passing a compliment, he said that since he could not have his company to supper, then he should expect him when he felt the leisure and disposed to do so.
My dear,
said Captain Fraser to his wife, when he returned to his apartment,
our new friend will not come to supper, but will take a glass with us afterwards.
I'm sorry that he will not come, though. Under other circumstances, I should have been glad of it, but I am very sorry on this occasion.
And why would you have been glad?
Because after the flurry and upset we had, I am hardly fit to see anyone, much less a stranger, but he has so kindly and promptly rescued us from our danger that I cannot feel reluctance at any time. Yes, said her sister, "and I must say that I never heard a voice that sounded so really like a gentleman's. Indeed, I could fancy that anyone could positively assess that he was a gentleman, only from hearing him speak, without seeing him at all. But be that as it may, I felt convinced that he was such." "He is very courteous, I must say," said Mrs. Fraser. "And who do you think he is?" "I have no means of forming any judgment."
Well then, ladies, he is Sir Francis Varney.
"Oh, Sir Francis Varney. Well, I do not know that name. I never heard the name before that time. But I think that there was someone of that name in the time of Queen Elizabeth. An attendant on the Earl of Leicester?"
Are you joking?
"Indeed, I am not. I believe I've read so."
And you think that this gentleman may be a descendant of his?
"Well, there is no possibility nor improbability about it, that I see. But I am the more obliged to him for his timely assistance. I am sure it was fortunate that he was so close at hand."
Yes, very fortunate, Mary, my dear. We shall be introduced to a baronet. It is quite a prophecy of yours in saying that he was a gentleman when you only heard him speak. By the way, Fraser, what sort of man is he?
I guess that was somebody else talking.
Oh?
I think it was the wife actually talking to her sister.
I see. Sometimes it's not so clear when she's trying to read aloud.
And then she turns to her husband and says, "Fraser, what kind of a man was he?"
Oh, she's got a transatlantic accent in 1840s. Interesting.
Very singular indeed.
"Singular? Oh, he is very tall."
Yes, he is tall, but very pale, more remarkable and dignified than handsome, extremely courteous and polite.
"Oh, and what age is he?"
Well, I cannot tell. Perhaps 40, perhaps not so old by 10 years. It is quite impossible to say.
"Dear me, how strange. I think I could guess anybody's age better than that."
Well, you shall have an opportunity of doing so then, in an hour or so when he will come, and I think that I may venture upon saying that you will be pleased with his dignified politeness, and say that he is much superior to most men.
The supper ended and the wine was produced, and Captain Fraser and his lady and 2 young relatives were seated round a good fire, for the storm had chilled the air. Besides, the damp that they had stood in rendered such a precaution necessary and pleasant. Notwithstanding the day had been sultry, but the change in the temperature was sudden, and great awaiting, with something like an impatience on the stranger's arrival. "He doesn't appear to come," said Charles Stevens. "He is not here, certainly. But he will come, no doubt, the moment he will be quite sure that we had done our supper, and he has finished his own. Perhaps he takes longer than we." "Oh, well, perhaps so, but I'm strongly tempted to go to him again." "It might be construed into undue urgency or something of the sort," said Mrs. Fraser, "and yet he might be waiting for something of the sort."
So he might, said the captain. At all events, I will go and see if he were inclined to do so under other circumstances. He would not take offense under the present.
"Perhaps not." At that moment the door was opened, and a waiter presented a note.
A note for me?
Said Captain Fraser.
Yes, sir. Who can it be from? From the gentleman up the stairs, sir, who came with you on horseback.
"Oh!" exclaimed Captain Fraser.
He was taken ill and obliged to go to bed, sir.
Captain Fraser immediately tore open the note and read as follows.
Sir, I deeply regret I cannot keep my promise to take a glass of wine with you, and have the honor of being introduced to the ladies. Favor me so far as to make my excuses to them. It is a great pleasure, lost to me on the occasion, Permit me to say deferred rather than lost. And if I might venture to make an appointment under the circumstances, I can only say that if convenient, I should be happy to breakfast with you, and then have the honor and happiness I have now the misfortune to lose. Sudden and severe indisposition alone have caused me to retire before I had the honor of seeing you and expressing my inability to attend you. Yours obliged, Francis Varney.
There was a blank upon the countenances of all present. Evidently a deep disappointment was felt by all, but the captain was especially surprised, and turning to the waiter, he said,
"Did you see the gentleman?" "Yes, sir." "Was he unwell?" "Yes, sir." "I mean, was he or is he dangerously ill?" "He was very ill, sir, but I don't know that he is dangerously ill. He suffered much pain, and he was obliged to have aid to go upstairs."
"Did he say what it was that ailed him?" pursued Captain Fraser.
"Not that I heard, though some said that he had got the cramp and the cold by being too long in the wet."
"Well, perhaps so. Very likely, very likely. That will do. Let me know how he is first thing in the morning, do you hear?"
"Yes, sir, I will. Take care."
"Well," said Mrs. Fraser when they were alone, "I did not expect such a disappointment this evening. However, he makes up for it by appointing the breakfast hour for our meeting. It is the more agreeable, as we shall all have had a good night's repose, and shall be the better able to appear to advantage."
All right, we're at the end of that chapter. Let's make it so I can move a little bit. I want to touch this and make sure that the microphone is plugged in, since somebody said there was some static coming. I don't think it's having a problem. So this has been an enjoyable story so far, hasn't it? Varney is trying to help these people that were so unfortunate to have their carriage tip over, but fortunately he just happened to be right there to help them, because if there's one thing we've discovered about Varney is he wants to help the young ladies and the ladies with whatever situation or problem they may
He does
encounter.
enjoy helping the ladies.
So he was there, and he made sure that the men focused on taking care of the ladies rather than going after the horses or the driver or anything else, because that's just the kind of man that Varney is. Manners are super important, and taking care of the people that we care about most is really important. You'll see in my videos that I do try to encourage proper manners. Am I the mayor yet? I am not the mayor yet. That won't be till November. That's when we'll find out.
So do we need to move the mic back?
No, I think the microphone is fine.
He said the end of the words are a bit rough.
I may have the gain turned up a little high. Find the knob. Where is it?
The knob's on the side.
I'll adjust the gain and see if that helps. What do the stars do? They help us to reach more people. They also actually provide us a small amount of income for the time we spend reading these stories and things. So they are helpful.
Eventually, we might get to buy a cup of coffee.
Yes, if we get enough stars, someday we could afford coffee.
All of last year, in my land of this platform, I made $50 for the whole year. So, it's a pittance of, a little bit of our time, but it's okay. It's nice to be able to go get a cup of coffee with a friend.
Her eyes aren't as good as mine, so you're seeing her lean in and get wide opened eyes in order to be able to read. We had her surgery about 7-8 years ago.
Oh, we did.
But I'm thinking we may have to have you corrected. You were at a 20/20 for a while, though.
I was. But it is true. I need to go in for another eye doctor appointment. And honestly, it's time for us to schedule our teeth cleanings as well.
Do we seem like vampires to you? We don't do any spells now. But I will perform some magic for you if we get to 100,000 taps.
So I found this at Saber's. And then I had the pendant. Do I have glasses? I do have a pair of readers. Do I need to start getting them for story time?
I don't think so, dear.
The Out of the Silent Planet book, the type is
That print is hard for me to read. That's just a difficult print.
Hello, Billy.
Billy's here. Welcome in, Billy.
Hello.
Who makes the ultimate decision?
Thank you.
The ultimate decision? What is the ultimate decision? There are many decisions throughout the day. Which one is the ultimate one? Welcome in, UK. We appreciate you joining us.
Let me rest
The
my
campaign
voice.
is going very well. Here, have some more water. Good girl. The campaign is going very well. I feel like we're acquiring a lot of good supporters. The t-shirts should be arriving in the next couple days. For those that have ordered t-shirts from my website, that was cool of you, and I've seen the photos of them now printed, and they look great. So we're very excited to be providing some t-shirts to my supporters, and that helps me to have the money necessary to run an effective campaign as well. But the most important part we still expect to get from an attorney next week, which will be the petition. Yes, if you look at the bio on my page, you will see that there is a vampire, and then there is a mayor, vampire, mayor, and then after that, dot, and then after that, com. If I say all that together, I get in trouble on social media. So you can go there, and there is a store part. And yes, we have t-shirts.
For his campaign.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy it, Joshua, and I'm glad that you've hung out with us for a while and that we can maybe inspire or entertain or perhaps even teach you a thing here or there. But if nothing else, if you just enjoy it and have a good time, that is great.
Are you ready?
I was born ready.
He was born ready. The inmates of the inn are all fast bound in sleep. The senses of all seem steeped in deep forgetfulness. Even the hour of dreams was past. The storm, which had raged so violently in the early part of the evening, and which had appeared to have gone and a calm succeeded, had returned, and the fury of the blast was only equaled by the deluging rain and the fearful rumblings of the thunder. But calmly slept the beautiful and innocent Mary Stevens. She was young, and her mind bore no weight of care. When she slept, no dreams disturbed her rest, but a calm, unalived-like sleep sat upon her soul, and steeped it in forgetfulness. The storm raged around, but she heard it not. She was unconscious of it. Perhaps the disturbance and fatigue of the previous day caused a greater degree of depth to her insensibility, and rendered her mind less liable to slight interruptions. But she slept soundly, and even did not hear the intruder, who walked across the floor of her bedroom and stood gazing upon her fair arms as she lay sleeping. The intruder was a tall man, enveloped in some strange mantle, all white. He stooped over her, as if he listened to the beating of her heart, while his strangely bright eyes, which shone fearfully, appeared to express a horrible kind of joy, too terrible for human nature to contemplate. He stooped, and he placed his hand upon her heart, and felt its pulsations, and a terrible and ghastly smile passed over his features, while a movement of the lips and mouth generally appeared as if anticipatory of a coming meal. Then he took the white arm in his hands and cast a longing look at the features of the maiden, who appeared disturbed by the rude action, and moved in her sleep, and was suddenly aroused from her slumber by a severe pang in her arm, as though some creature had plunged its fangs into her flesh. Oh! She started up and found herself flung about on the bed with gigantic strength. She screamed and uttered scream upon scream. The old inn was filled with the sound of terror and pain. There was a loud knocking heard at the door, and then indeed the assailant left his prey to provide for his own safety. But it was almost too late, for the door was burst open violently as he made for another means of exit, which was the means by which he had entered the apartment. But he was prevented, and as the first person entered the apartment, he threw him down by placing something in his way. The light was thrown against some furniture, which immediately rose up into a flame. "Help! Help! Fire! Help! Fire!" These were fearful sounds, such as had never before been heard in that place, and the inmates woke from the screams, from deep slumber. They were startled and terrified at these sounds, and springing at once from their beds, echoed the sounds as they run wildly about from place to place. "Where is the fire? What is the matter?"
"There's a fire in the young lady's room."
All eyes were directed to that quarter, and in another instant there were several persons rushing to the room. The glare of the fire in which at once attracted their observation, and they rushed to the rescue, among the foremost of whom was Sir Francis Varney, whose bedchamber was not far distant from Mary Stevens. He rushed to the bed, and wrapping the bedclothes around her, he carried her out of the room and the scene of danger, and as he came out of the room, he inquired,
"Where is Captain Fraser?"
Got a picture. You guys get to see it first this time. So there's Varney carrying Mary Stevens out of the room. Remember, these are the original woodblock prints.
These are almost 200 years old.
Here I am, Sir Francis."
Then, Captain Fraser, I resign my charge to you. You are her proper protector, but I must apologize for my hasty intrusion into her apartment.
"Do not think of speaking in that manner, Sir Francis. We are already indebted to you for our lives, and now we are again your debtor. Your ready aid has twice saved the young lady."
Captain Fraser took Miss Stevens from Sir Francis, and then carried her as she was quite insensible to his own room to his wife, her sister, where she was laid upon the bed and found to be quite insensible. There was much confusion in the inn. People were running about from place to place and tumbling over each other in the confusion of thought, and the moments were precious, for many were running about, yet none did effective service, though all were willing enough to do all that could be done by them under the circumstances.
You had better get some water as quickly as you can. It is useless to run about and stare at each other. Get all the buckets you can. Be quick about it. There may yet be enough time to save the inn and keep the fire to the room where it is, but that time will soon be at an end.
Instantly, 2 or 3 of the men ran down and got plentiful supplies of water, and then, under the direction of Sir Francis Varney, the fire was very soon got under, and the flames were extinguished. Then came an inquiry of how the fire first appeared.
Do you know how it happened?
Inquired Sir Francis Varney of the innkeeper, who stood quite mute with astonishment at the scene before him.
"No, sir. I don't know anything. I don't know myself. I don't even know where I am or what's the matter."
Then I beg to tell you, sir,
said Varney, with much suavity of manner.
Then I beg to tell you, sir, that there has been a fire in your inn, a young lady frightened out of her senses, and I know not the cause.
Oh, no more do I, said the landlord with a short grunt, indicative of wonderment and alarm. I wish that I did. I wonder who set the place afire. That's what I wants to know, and why he did it.
The motive was not a bad one, I believe.
Not a bad motive. That which causes one man to set fire and destroy another man's property.
Not when it is not only done with any evil intention, but it was done willfully. But it was not even done willfully.
Perhaps you saw it done.
I did. Hearing the disturbance, I hastily threw on some of my clothes and ran out of my apartment to ascertain what was the matter, and I found several others had gotten here before me and had burst open the door. The first who entered had a light in his hand and fell with it, setting the place on fire, which burned ferociously for a minute or two, before the hangings being dry and old. I took the young lady out, else I am sure she must have perished.
Well, I saw you come out with her in your arms like a salamander. But what I most want to know is, what was it that disturbed my customer? That is of the greatest consequence to me.
You're perfectly right, my friend. To make that inquiry, that being the origin of all subsequently took place, you, a man of discernment, must see that the young lady herself can alone give us any account of that.
True, sir, but I am much obliged to you for the trouble you have taken, not only for the young lady's sake, but for the property that you have prevented being destroyed. You have no doubt saved the inn and all it contains.
That is enough, sir. You have said enough. I am glad I have rendered you a service and that it has been effectual.
It has been just the thing.
Then take my advice. See the place is secure and send all persons to bed, save perhaps a single individual who might be set to watch the room which has been on fire and which may have some slumbering spark in it. Though I think not, but the quieter the place is, the sooner the young lady's alarm will be over, and then all will be well.
Certainly, certainly. It will be better to do so, but here is the only gentleman who can tell us how the young lady is. Sir Francis Varney turned round and beheld Captain Fraser coming towards them with a very grave aspect.
Captain Fraser, perhaps you can tell us what we are so very anxious to learn and what we have been inquiring about.
And what that may be, Sir Francis.
We have been trying to learn what it was that caused the young lady to scream out in such a fearful manner. We have settled the cause of the fire that has been manifested enough to us all.
Indeed, I am not acquainted with it.
It arose from the first person who entered the apartment after the door was burst open, falling over something and setting fire to the curtains, which blazed up in an instant and set the whole room on fire.
Indeed, said Captain Fraser, almost incredulously.
Yes, I saw that myself, and I stepped over him and he lay on the ground, and therefore, no, it was how the young lady, but how is the young lady? Has she recovered from the extreme fright into what she has been thrown?
It is a much more serious affair than I had any notion of, Sir Francis.
I'm concerned to hear you say so.
Shall I send for the doctor? Inquired the landlord. Do. It is what I came here to ask you to do. She has recovered once and has fainted again. I know not what to think. She has a singular wound in her arm, and I can't understand that, at all events.
I did not see it when I took hold of her, though to be sure that I did, it was, to be sure what I did was done in smoke and flame, and I could not be supposed to scrutinize very closely, had I been so inclined. But what kind of wound is it?
Well, I can hardly describe it to you, save it is a bite, and there are teeth marks plain enough to be seen, though we have no means of telling what kind of creature that it was that inflicted the wound.
Indeed, I am concerned for the effect upon the imagination will be very bad. But did she not see or fancy she saw the object that injured her?
It was dark, and the storm raged without. Moreover, she was held down by a powerful grasp, and when she attempted to rise, she was flung down, and she could feel the blunted teeth enter her flesh, and the creature appeared to suck her blood.
Dear me, what a very strange affair. It is fortunate I was obliged to retire early, and I slept the lighter and was therefore easily aroused from my sleep. But I am proverbially a lighter sleeper.
Are you, sir? But what has caused the wound in her arm, I cannot tell. It is quite a mystery. She has got a fancy into her mind that it was a human being, but that could not have been the fact.
I should imagine not.
And then I know of no animal who could commit such an act. A cat or a dog could not have done it, though a dog might have made the teeth marks, but a dog would hardly have attempted to suck blood.
They will do it. That I know to be a fact. And I believe it to be one that is generally admitted by all persons, especially that breed animals, mostly kept, and which have something of the bulldog in them.
Can you imagine that? Here they are already being upset by a bulldog.
In the 1840s.
Goodness. Already starting to try to stop people from having certain things.
You were bitten by a bulldog once.
Yes, I was.
Did it suck any of your blood?
Not that I noticed.
No. Okay.
It may be so, but how could she be held down by one of them? She could not be struck down when she attempted to rise.
It is not for me to combat the young lady's opinions, but remember, my dear sir, how terrified, not to say how horrified she must have been at such an unusual, and I may add unheard of, an attack. If you consider such things, then the improbability, not to say what appears to me the impossibility, you will see plenty of the room for mistakes to arise and give her notions a wrong turn.
Well, that is very true.
And besides, I would, if I were convinced of the contrary, endeavor to persuade her of the mistake, unless you can discover the perpetrator of the outrage, when justice demands that such a savage should be severely punished.
By God, Sir Francis, said the captain, if I could see him, I would pew the scoundrel. But then I'm getting very angry without a cause. It may not be what she thinks, and then you know, all one's anger goes for nothing.
So it does. But in the meantime, great care and attention is requisite to regain her confidence and serenity of mind.
Oh, a day or two of that will make a great difference in these matters when we come to a change of scene.
Are you traveling far, Captain Fraser?
As far as Bath.
At this moment the landlord returned, saying to Captain Fraser,
I have sent to Mr. Carter, who will be here, no doubt. He's close at hand, and will come in a moment. He's a very clever gentleman, Mr. Carter. I saw him perform 4 operations on a coach accident.
Operations on coach accidents? A curious matter. How did they succeed upon such materials?
Oh, they was 2 broken arms and 3 broken legs.
Indeed. Did they all recover?
No, only one got over it.
Upon my word, a promising member of the faculty to entrust so tender a charge to, under such delicate circumstances. But, landlord, have you any bad characters about your house or in the neighborhood?
Well, I can't say anything about the neighborhood, though I do believe it is as quiet and orderly as it can be, or usually is. I never hear anything against it, and I know nothing against it. And, as for them in the house, I can answer that they would not hurt a fly, unless provoked to do so. But what I mean is that they are all honest and tried servants. Well, that is saying a good deal,
said Captain Fraser.
But have you any dogs about the house? I mean, any large dogs? Eh? Dogs? Yes, I have several dogs, and good dogs they are, too. Well, could any of them get into the rooms? Like the sleeping rooms? I mean, could any of them get into the room that has taken fire? Well, no, unless the door was opened. They are not allowed to run about in the house. Lest any one of them should get in the night and be mistaken for intruders, for my dogs are gentlemen. Would they take anyone out they saw moving about outside of in the night? But otherwise they are quiet and well-conducted dogs. Well, you mean to say that they could not have gotten into Miss Stevens' room? Well, I do. I'm sure of it. They could not, because there were none of them about the house when we went to bed. When the house was shut up at night, however, here's the doctor.
The medical man now arrived, and was forthwith introduced to the Captain Fraser, who conducted him to the apartment in which Mrs. Fraser and Miss Stevens were awaiting the coming of the doctor. Captain Fraser, after having introduced him to the invalid, returned to the landlord and Sir Francis.
Well, I cannot make it out at all. There must be some mystery in it, I am persuaded, and if that could only be discovered, the matter would lose half its terrors of the mind and of the young lady.
No doubt that would do so, said the captain. The fire and her wound together have made a deep impression upon her. The wound, said the landlord. Is the young lady hurt, then? Hurt, indeed. She is seriously injured. She had received a severe wound in the arm by someone or some dog having seized and bitten her seriously. Oh, God bless me, said the landlord. I never heard of such a thing. Somebody began to eat her, I suppose. Upon my word, it would almost make one believe that we are in Cannibal Islands, to say the least of it.
Here's the surgeon,
said Sir Francis, who noticed that gentleman's approach. Well, sir, said Captain Fraser, how is your patient? Well, I feel that she is much terrified, and if she were to remain here long, I should hardly like to answer for her health. She has received a very severe shock. Her wound? What did you think of that, sir? I really can't say anything about it, save that it's a bite, but how inflicted I cannot say. It is very mysterious indeed, very strange. But what I look upon as the most important in the affair is the impression that it has produced upon her mind. That is, you see, may last her all her life and produce very unfortunate consequences. I do not know that if it will be so, but I state what there is a possibility of, or I may more correctly speak and add, of what there is of a great probability.
It seems like they already understand PTSD, even in the 1840s, don't they?
I would say so.
I regret to hear you say so. Do you really imagine the young lady will have bitten by any animal?
Well, yes, I do. There are evidence enough to prove that. There is a wound in her arm, and the marks of teeth are quite plain, and she suffers from the anguish of it much. But I shall be better able to say more about it early in the morning, when I call again to see her. Well, she will be able to travel, I hope. Oh, yes, she will be able to do that. Indeed, I'd recommend that she should try to do so, as the best means of throwing off all the unpleasant feelings and thoughts upon the occasion. Will you call early tomorrow? I will, said the doctor, and then he bade them all good evening and left. Well, said the landlord, I'm amazed at what the doctor says about the young lady. I'm sorry that it should have happened in my house, but I hope something will turn up to make it all turn out differently. That, I'm afraid, is not possible, seeing that you have clear demonstration of what it is now. The mischief has been done. I'm all the more sorry, said the landlord, that it is likely to prey upon the young lady's feelings, which ought to be considered the case. Certainly. There is where the mischief is likely to spring from. However, it's no use in standing here all night. It's cold, and I must get an hour or two's sleep before I get to business in the morning. Well, I think so too, said Captain Fraser. Well, I will bid you good night, sir. Sir Francis, and shall expect you in the morning to breakfast.
With pleasure,
replied Varney, and they all parted, each going to his own dormitory to sleep, or to think over the events of the night as best as they could.
We have 150,000 taps
Pardon me.
on our tickety talk, which means that it's time that we perform some magic for everyone. Are you okay, dear? Are you okay? Oh. What's wrong? Oh? What in the world? There we go. We weren't very smooth this time, were we? I don't think we got that one loaded very well. Let me perform something a little better for you. Hang on. I'll
Failure.
fetch a rope. Failure
Failure
is
moments.
always an option.
Yeah. That one didn't go down very well. Pardon me. Pardon me. I tried.
All right. Well, let's perform something a little bit more.
Yes, we can do a
Interesting.
fit check after he's done with the rope.
So, now, very important, everybody, that you understand while she's distracting you. Pay attention. We don't want to do things like this at home. You don't want to try this because this can hurt you. So this is professional only. Okay, so we're going to wrap the rope around. And now we're going to do a knot right here. Okay? Now, I'm going to try to...
Professionals only.
Yeah, please, do not try this. This will not go well for you. I'm trying to get my neck ready. Here we go. I have to do this. Do I have to?
Yes.
There we go. Yay.
Whee!
Thank you. Thank you. She's not distracting at all.
No, I'm not.
Hi, Toledo, Ohio. Welcome in.
Awesome. JP Prophet, is that your last name for real? Prophet? How fun. Very fun.
We've been married a long, long time. Fit check time.
Yes, fit check time.
Okay. Let's move the camera a little bit.
Had this dress a couple years now.
Hang on. We need to back the camera up and not knock things over if we're going to do a proper fit check.
So it's a fishtail. It has the fishtail bottom. Let's step up here real quick. So everybody over here could see too.
Fishtail.
Fishtail.
Turn around, show the back. Look at that. We approve of this message. Careful, dear.
So sadly, they don't have any more of these. It's been a couple years since they sold it, so it's. I don't know if you'd be able
Hi,
to find
Kentucky.
it.
Hi, North Carolina. Welcome
Maybe
in.
on Poshmark. I can't remember the name of the dress anymore, though.
Do our children watch this? Well, our children are in their 20s, and I assume they occasionally will watch it, but I don't think very often.
I don't think they do. I think that they have other things that they're doing because they're young adults.
But I can tell you, if my children were sitting right there, I would behave exactly the same way I just behaved. So that's...
It's true, he would.
Yes.
And has.
I'm not changing just because we're on camera. This is just us.
Thank you. I'm glad you like the dress. Thank you.
Make sure if I'm not popping up on the For You page that you heart me and subscribe. Make sure.
On this one, make sure you're following Shane is Great.
Yes, because sometimes TikTok will unfollow people if you haven't interacted in with a while.
And to understand that he has an imposter on some platforms.
Yes, and sometimes that happens.
And Shane will never message you first.
Never.
You have to message him first.
So if somebody is messaging you, because some of the imposters will be like, hey, it's Shane, and I've got an investment opportunity for you. If you have $10, I can help you to buy this house. Or something. Like, that is an imposter. I will not ever message you anything like that. If you want to support me or do some investing with me, you can buy a Vampire Mayor t-shirt from, Vampire Mayor.
Don't say it, don't.
And then the dot, and then
Blah, blah, blah.
com.
So yes, we have to be careful about certain things that we say. But I think he's going to get some hoodies and tank tops also, so it's okay to wait too.
Yep. I love you guys very much. We have been here for a little bit now reading, and
Really? What time is it now?
it's 8:15.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, well, are you wanting to do a whole nother chapter?
I don't think I can do a whole nother chapter,
don't
but I
think we
think we
can
can
either.
talk for a few more
I think
minutes.
we could talk for a few minutes. Although I do eventually need to get to that phone call.
Oh, yes, you do have to get to that phone call. Oh, drat. Silly business phone
We have
calls.
responsibilities.
Responsibilities.
Hey, Corey, welcome in from the UK.
Hello, hello. Oh, I do apologize.
How has my credit advice worked for you in the UK? Has your credit improved, Corey? It's always interesting to see in other countries if the things we do work.
Hello, Buffalo.
I messaged you and said you could save a lot by switching to Geico. Well, I definitely did not message you and tell you that, but
I've got like a little bit of the J.G. Wentworth jingle going through my head.
do I invest in anything besides properties? I do have some stock investing in a company called Lode, L-O-D-E, which I am very hopeful pays out very soon.
Call J.G. Wentworth. 876 something.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I don't know the
I've
jingle.
heard that jingle a few times lately. And I'm starting to actually know it, but not all the way yet. Just remember that. Call J.G. Wentworth. Why do I want to say Gentworth?
I don't know, dear. I don't know. What advice can you give for someone wanting to start their first Airbnb? Make sure you buy a property that you could make money on as a rental before you try to Airbnb it. Don't buy a property where you have to Airbnb it to make money. It's improved, and I utilized your framework for sure. Universal advice for sure, dude. Your Airbnbs would be great. So I'm glad. So Corey's credit improved after he followed our steps.
Yay.
I figured the UK and the American credit system is similar, but it's nice to hear that it's actually helped you a lot. I figured the steps that we publish videos about would help. 877 cash now.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Hello, Canada. You were shoveling snow.
Ooh.
I'm so sorry. That must be so challenging for you. I will try to remember that when I'm sweating at our 80-degree humid weather tomorrow. So,
Let's go to Canada. Let's leave today. Hey, Canada, oh Canada. I see you play.
what lip shade are you wearing? Someone wants to know.
I want to say cranberry stiletto.
And this one looks like your darker color one. Is that the cranberry stiletto?
Yes.
Okay.
Cranberry stiletto is the darker one, and then raspberry tiramisu is the lighter one. Raspberry tiramisu.
What's the last meal if I were on Unalive Row?
Picanha.
The heart of the executioner. So,
They wouldn't give you that.
well, if I requested it and I got it, it would be a lot harder for them to conduct the offing, wouldn't it?
I suppose that's true.
Yeah. They'd at least have to find another person.
Well, my friends, we have to be responsible now.
We do.
So good night. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow.
We love you guys. Bye.
Until we meet again. Good night.